What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. We're continuing our series. We're going to touch on every single NFL team. We're going to look at the fantasy relevant players for those teams. And we're even going to change it up from what we did with the Arizona Cardinals, which you can check out the article because I've updated it. But at the end of the videos, we're going to give you our projections for each relevant player we think you should look at, either DFS or sports betting or futures, or even your season-long league. So we're going to continue. We're going to look at the Atlanta Falcons here. We've got this article here, which you can find down below. Easy, check it out. It will be linked along with our free Discord as well. But I wanted to get you guys in the mindset because we're climbing on our way to fantasy football relevancy, and we're very excited. In a couple of weeks, we've got our first preseason game. We're not going to see much out of it. But what we're going to do is we're going to cover the players, how they did maybe last year compared to what we think and project for this year. So we're looking at the Atlanta Falcons. It's Michael Penix Jr. time. So we still have in the back of our mind something, he could tweak something. Kirk Cousins could come in and take over again. I don't see that happening. But for this, we are definitely going to look at this. So he was selected 8th overall last year. It was very surprising after Kirk Cousins obviously signed his deal there. I think it was 4 years. He came in. Penix really didn't do anything till the end of the season. He had 3 starts to end the season. He has raw arm strength, and he throws the ball deep, which is great, especially for your wide receivers there. Probably not so much for Kyle Pitts. But looking at this, his raw arm strength and fearless deep throws impressed. Trusted metrics, 87.6 PFF passing grade. So right now, he has the upside of a top 10 quarterback. It's just, he's got to play the full season. He's got to stay healthy, and he can't lose it. You never know what's going to happen with Atlanta. I completely get that. They changed their mind more than the score changed in that Super Bowl. So what makes him a fantasy sleeper? Those are some questions. He's got surrounding talent here. As long as they're all healthy going in, obviously, it's July. We've got training camp starting this week. We've then got preseason. We've got injuries that will more than likely happen for every single team. But Bijan, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, already ready to go. Kyle Pitts is the one that we don't know what he's going to get. It's yet to be determined. But looking at this, the scheme fit. So Zach Robinson, their offensive coordinator, is tailoring right now the offense to Michael Penix. So that's great. He's got arm strength. He's got, he'll run a little bit more than Kirk, who, barely did anything. We'll still run leaning projections, expected pass rate near at least 55% in 2025 for this Atlanta Falcons offense here. So it's not a huge increase from 2024, but there's a lot of different back and forths that could change with this offense here. There is room for growth, though his deep focus and willingness is to push the ball downfield. He does struggle with accuracy in short and intermediate throws. So he's got raw talent that he needs to kind of hone in on. Maybe he gets a full preseason, gets in there, and gets comfortable with the scheme, gets comfortable with everything around him. So the supporting cast that we're looking for, Drake London, thrived last season and should remain the wide receiver 1 there. Would not be surprised if Drake London is towards the back end, but still a wide receiver 1 for any of your teams. Darnell Mooney bounced back to the top, he had over 900 yards last year. Is a question mark because he does get hurt pretty consistently. He's likely a wide receiver 3 with upside, but it's not risk-free upside. So he's got the upside. The injury history is kind of what we are going to look at. And then Kyle Pitts. What are we going to get from Kyle Pitts? He did not meet expectations in 2024. He still has the upside. He's big. He can get dump-off passes. But the problem is Michael Penix cannot, right now, not accurate enough to just do dump-off passes and short passes to Kyle Pitts. So that's definitely something to look at. So we kind of look down the list, and this is kind of what we're going to do. Strength of schedule for the Atlanta Falcons. They are 20 out of 32. So their opponents last year had a record of 478. So I did misspeak in the Arizona video where I said Arizona had the 4th worst or 5th worst. It's actually 5th best. So with Atlanta, there's 12 other teams or 11 other teams that have a better schedule. So they're pretty much, they're a little bit better than middle, but it's kind of middle of the road right now. And again, injuries are going to happen. Strength of schedule will change throughout the year. But what I wanted to talk about is we are going to go through all of the statistics here. So as of the making of this video, if he is in fact the starter, which is fully expected for him to be, QB 24 right now through middle of July is what we're looking at preseason wise. So looking at that, he does have Bijan, he has Algier. Then we're going to talk about Darnell Mooney, Drake London, Ray McCloud, Kyle Pitts. So if you're with us, the other ones, we're going to look at offensive fantasy production. We're not looking at defensive players or IDP or defenses or kickers or anything like that. So we're going to go over the offenses and look at it that way. So obviously Penix last year didn't do a ton. He got in the game week 7, but then he started there 16, 17, and week 18 there. A little bit there, had 3 touchdowns to end the year. Running is going to be a thing for him. Did have 1 rushing touchdown as well. So it's going to be, dependent on the opponent, how their defenses stack up against a mobile quarterback. So we've got Michael Penix there. We can obviously look at Bijan here. So we're going to go in 17 games in 2023. This will be his 17 last year. This will be his 3rd season there. He's currently preseason RB1. Pretty much what we saw last year. First round, he was the 8th pick overall by the Falcons. So we look at this, and you can see last year, not too bad. 14 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air, had 72 targets, caught 61 of those balls. So RB1 right now, those are great numbers. Always with a mobile quarterback, you've got to be a little bit leery on that. But again, we'll have to see how they do in preseason. We'll have to see how they gel together. But Bijan, would not be surprised if he continues throughout the entire to the start of the season, be one of the top 3 running back options that they use. So Algier's more of just a cutoff. You're not going to draft him for much. He's currently preseason RB 46. You can see this will be his 4th year with Atlanta. Played all the games there except for in 2022. Missed 1. Last year had 644 yards on 137 attempts with 3 touchdowns. 13 for 13 in receptions as well. So down a little bit down 10 targets from 2023, which is true. But you can see, comes through here. I don't mind him. So he's going to be your handcuff. You're not taking him to, and that's it. That's the thing. Handcuff only, DFS, okay with that. Okay. So we go down. We've got Darnell Mooney, wide receiver 45 right now. Be his 2nd season in Atlanta. Last year, you did see 64 receptions, 106 targets, 5 touchdowns. Did not have a rushing attempt. The only year of his career that he had 0 rushing attempts in those games. You're not really gonna. He's more useful in DFS if you're doing the stacking approach. Then I would take him in a season long. Drake London's the one that I want to look at. Currently, right now, wide receiver 10. He's got that upside. It'll be his 4th year here with Atlanta. Last year, 100 receptions on 158 targets, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Did have 1 attempt for a rush for -3 yards, so didn't do much there. Again, we'll see the schemes fit a little bit differently this year without Kirk Cousins at the helm here. But Drake London, I love him here. Should easily get him in the 1st round, towards the end of the 1st round. There's obviously other options that I would look at, but my strategy going into this year, I'm probably going to go my first 3 picks as wide receivers. I have not gone with that strategy yet when I've drafted, ever. I've always gone running back. I'm going to try something different. Didn't work out for me last year with running backs. There's always going to be those running backs that someone's going to get hurt and you're going to find on the waiver wire. The wide receivers are the ones where the studs, they're going to get those targets and receptions as long as they're healthy. That's what I would go with. So if I'm towards the end of like a 10 team or 12 team, 14 team, and I don't know if you'll get him at 14, but it definitely just depends on where you're at there. But I absolutely love Drake London this year. And then Ray McCloud, more so probably, he's wide receiver 81, handcuff for London, more so, probably has less usage here in a season long compared to stacking with DFS. So I would probably stay away from Ray McCloud in drafts for sure. And then you got Kyle Pitts, currently tight end 22. He's got great, this will be his 5th year. Okay. He's only averaging 8.5 fantasy points a game as a tight end. Last year, absolute just 4 touchdowns, 600 yards, only 74 targets, 47 receptions in those. That's what's wild here. I don't understand. He's huge. He's big. He can run. He can catch. They're not utilizing him as much as I think they should. His first year, 110 targets. And since then, it went down almost in half. He obviously was hurt in 2022. 2023 played 17 games. 2024 played 17 games. And he has yet to eclipse the 100 target mark in that. He also has yet to, the first year he had 1,000 yards, but only 1 touchdown. And then it has gotten better. As you can see, if it holds, he will have 5 touchdowns this year. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's more than that. But yeah, it's a weird pattern that I've definitely seen here. So overall, statistics wise, that's kind of what we're looking at. I am looking, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put all of our player projections in the articles, but I'm also going to go over them right now. So our projections for the starters that we just talked about. Michael Penix Jr. projecting about 350 completions on 550 attempts, 24 passing touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 49 carries, 200 yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. That is a great upside there, especially if you draft him late or get him as a QB2, backup QB off the bench, or if, your bye weeks, depends on how your draft goes. Bijan, running back, 1, RB1, 305 carries, 1,525 rushing yards, 14 rushing touchdowns, 64 receptions on 499 yards for 3 receiving touchdowns. Tyler Algier as your backup or your handcuff, 128 carries, 550 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 12 receptions, 82 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Darnell Mooney, wide receiver, or Drake London, wide receiver 1, 155 targets, 104 receptions on those targets, 1,225 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns of what I'm looking at here. Darnell Mooney, wide receiver 2 for the Falcons, 105 targets, 63 receptions, 900 yards. He's got to stay healthy. 6 receiving touchdowns. Those are some good numbers for like a bench wide receiver or a handcuff wide receiver. And then Ray McLeod the third, 66 targets, 50 receptions in those targets, 479 receiving yards, 4 to 5 touchdowns. What I'm looking at. And then this is Kyle Pitts. This is his year. 83 targets, 55 receptions, 695 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns. So if he follows the pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is his 5th year in the league, 5 touchdowns. Obviously, it would be great if he got more than that. He would be a sleeper for you. Some of these might be bold predictions. I think Michael Penix might be a bold projection there. Kyle Pitts could be. Would love to see the full potential Kyle Pitts. We're gonna see it hopefully at some point. This just feels like the offensive line, the everything. They've got the running backs that they have to contend with. They got the wide receivers the defense has to contend with. They got a mobile quarterback they have to contend with. Why not give those dump off passes to Kyle Pitts? Let him get downfield. That's the big thing. He has not been able to take those and get downfield. Maybe he's practiced. Maybe we've got it there. So those are our early projections and predictions, fantasy relevant players for your 2025 Atlanta Falcons. Now, go check out the other ones. We're going to do a full series here on YouTube, giving you guys the videos, giving you the articles here. We're going to have full stats under the NFL tab here. So we've got all of this for DFS, but we will put out a tab there for our full projections, probably mid-August before all the drafts are happening. We'll put a page up here again for 2025 fantasy projections for everything. So PPR, half point PPR, and then just normal is kind of what we'll look at. We are looking to do a fantasy football league, whether or not you guys would do a season-long league on Yahoo like we used to do 4 or 5 years ago, which we had a lot of fun with that. Or I'm thinking of doing a weekly league on DraftKings, like a $5 entry, top 3 places pay each week, depending on the amount of people that join each week. Would love to know if you guys are interested in that, so definitely put that down below. But let me know where you think we went right or wrong here. Would love to hear some of your projections and predictions for the 2025 Atlanta Falcons. If you guys do want to sign up for FTA Plus, I am doing a special. A yearly pass is normally $199, but you can get it for $99 or $75, $75 while supplies last. All you got to do is use the coupon code preview, and you are going to get a full website for 1 year FTA Plus. That includes all season long information. That includes MLB, DFS, NASCAR DFS, the entire 2025 to 2026 NBA season, the entire 2025 NFL DFS season, including our sports bets and season long content we put out there. The rest PGA for a year, MMA for a year as well. Very excited. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, hit us up in the support tab in the free Discord, which you can find down below. Completely free for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little preview here. If you did, hit the like button. Would love to see your guys' takes on the 2025 Atlanta Falcons fantasy season. Good luck, sports betting, DFS, drafting, whatever you're doing. Let's have a great day. Let's have a great fantasy football season. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace.